They're hoping will bring them some joy live here on Sky Sport.
They come out from that southwestern corner here at Old Trafford. Kiwi fans with hope in their hearts that their team can defend the cup with a big second half. It's got a glimpse of Thomas Luluwai there. The disappointment the World Cup has been for him. He's going to be a key member of this side, one of the 08 squad. Cup didn't last all that many minutes. Fans in a good mood here in Manchester, where we had rain last night and bitterly cold evening and rain, but sunshine most of today. It's been an absolutely superb weather day for the last day of autumn, and we celebrate the last day of autumn with this cup final. Cameron Smith trying to be another Australian captain to lift the trophy alongside of Fittler, Meninga, Lewis, Beatson, Langlands, Coote, Raper. Dick Poole was the first Aussie to do it back in '57. Let's get the second half on the road. Isaac Luke it is who starts. And for the Kiwis, they'll be hoping Australia start like New Zealand did. And that was with an error in the first set. They need to make the running here. And Australia show little sign of cracking as Thaiday takes that run into Martelino, Goodwin, Maria Hargreaves, back to the 30-metre line, and now over as Scott tips it on. So hard-working, this squad, not just the starting six forwards, but players like Parker has been outstanding coming off the bench today. Fafita has done his job. Papali got minutes.
Started two plays earlier for me. Sam Thaiday, who's been a bit of an unsung hero in the Australian camp the last few weeks. He gets a quick play the ball, which allowed the next bloke to carry the football. He was able to get on the front foot, and then I think Fafita, it takes the final carry. They didn't win the tackle or the challenge as such. Sloppy unloading there, and that created the opportunity down the short side. Cameron Smith, he has a quick look up. Thurston comes around to create the 2v1, but then, as you said, Slater wraps around late too to give an option to Thurston back on the inside, and it's just typical draw and pass. You know what I mean? Rare gets caught out, and he draws the passes out to Darius Boyd, and then great support. Billy Slater, he's always everywhere to finish off a try, isn't he? Backing up on the inside, and a fantastic worked try there for the Aussies, and what a real sucker punch that is to the Kiwis early in this second half.
He's been flawless today. Tim Sheens is probably a little chuffed, saying, gee, that was not a bad halftime address, was it? Try first set after the break.
Just the luxury of the players he has in his team to be so experienced to go to those options, to not worry about playing to an end of an effective set of six if there's an option on a short side.
So Luke, in quick time, has another kick-off, 22-2. 37 and a half minutes remaining.
Now, Simon!
Stephen Kearney, a frustrated man.
Go one.
Little he can do from the coach's box now. And Cameron Smith, you know, all the big names in this Australian side. It's very hard to be critical of any of them today. Their contribution across the park, when you consider what Darius Boyd has done in the lead up to a couple of tries today, been spot on. As now Matt Scott is with the ball. And it is based around a fairly simple game plan, and then getting a platform to work from, letting the genius of Thurston and Cronk and others do their thing. There's now Hayne with it. Was concussed in the first half. Stayed on the field. Last tackle, they're going to run for Thurston, and that kick has been charged down by Martelino. It could be play on. Williams has got a chance. Williams has got it. And he put out that big left hand. Even then he was looking to offload. And gives the Kiwis a bit of field position.
That's two release.
Faray to come in field. Played centre all tournament, forced onto the wing with the early and unfortunate injury to Tuivasa-Sheck. But this is a chance for New Zealand. Played in slow fashion by Nuasala. Brilliant tackle, Thaiday.
Well read, Thaiday.
Got up on Johnson, who's had very little say in attack today. Luke, likewise, he's running for the metres of a marathoner. Marathon runner through this tournament, but not so today against the Australian defence. Back four and to try a bomb. Slater's there again. Up goes Billy. He shells some more peas. Billy Slater at the back for the Kangaroos. Made it look easy. Morris comes in for work, and Morris was almost away. He taken off his stride by Luke. Now Papali.
Good carry.
He went looking for someone to run at. And he said, I'll have a crack at Alex Glenn. Smith on for Parker. This is strong. This is aggressive stuff. As Australia roll forward here. Smith, Thurston, Tamo. They are playing big men. But they are making them look small the way they're attacking these forwards for Australia with a ball under the arm. Cronk bombs this time, out towards Manu. Manu has lost it, and his play on New Zealand. Foreign back for it.
Fortuitous that time for New Zealand as Manu climbs high and shields one back into the middle. There's a thing called speed in the game. Speed of the play the ball and speed of yards. Australia got it in spades at the moment.
You look at the body language there, Vossi, the Kiwis as they walk back on side, hands on hip. You know, they need to find a magic play for me to be able to get themselves back into this game.
Foreign up he goes left, and as he does, courageously takes on the defence. He runs right up to the line. Tamo and Cronk were there, and back it goes for Johnson. And Johnson's kick out towards the sideline, and no play. Made at it again by Morris, as we had in the first half, but takes time off the clock as well. Ball out of play, not necessarily going to help New Zealand.
It's heartbreaking. New Zealand just making their last two sets of six. They've had to kick before the halfway line, 45 metres out, so they're making about 30, 35 metres in a set of six. Australia put it down at 60 or 65. Here's Manu going up again. Hayne in there to contest it, so in the zone to make it a little bit uncomfortable. No clear take, no clear catch offered and allowed to Manu or any of the Kiwi recipients of the football.
I'd like to see Darryl as well. I'd like to see Shaun Johnson maybe use Kieran Foran on a two-part shift on the kick, because he's getting hunted down a lot, isn't he, on the kick pressure there. He's not always getting to put his kicks where he wants them. I think having that option to hit Foran, it might create a better opportunity to put the ball where he wants it.
Lovely to see a scrum play there for Australia. They all broke. The ball still in the scrum. Silverwood could have quite easily penalised the Kiwis. It was nice deception from the men in green and gold. There's another run with Parker. Johnson there in defence, but Parker has been magnificent. Thurston on to Scott. Scott has been so solid with Tamo up front. Again, they're 35 metres away from the New Zealand line, and they're just hanging into this one, the Kiwis now. Smith, Thurston, step, got away from Martelino. Tackle. Look for Cronk on the right-hand side. Look for Slater middle. He's got him lurking there. Slater, now a chance for a hat-trick, and what a tackle from Foran. Just as Slater was putting the foot down. He felt as if he was away, I'm sure, Billy Slater.
Off him now, wait, go.
But last-ditch defence from Kieran Foran.
Two, release. Back 10, boys. Oh,
now Goodwin to play it outside the 20. Wrong end of the field as far as New Zealand are concerned. Williams with it again. He's always looking to sneak that right-hand carry, get the offload. Quick play the ball for Luke. Again, there's not metres to be made for Isaac Luke. The markers are alert every time he's there. Inglis, Scott, they shut him down that time. Maria Hargreaves now does well to get to halfway, but that is tackle 5. Iwasala's gone back off for the Kiwis here. Johnson tries to get the kick down to the corner. Slater's across to it. Pick up. Slater. Good game today. Just one handling error in that first half.
Good set of six, that one by the Kiwis. Good yards on it. Good speed of the play the ball. Australia now taking it into 3. Still a little bit slow to get back on side.
That's 3.
Sam
Move! Shannon, wait, boys, wait!
Another run.
Go, 3.
Long time out from where they will name man of the match in the final, but Thaiday has got his name somewhere in the frame, you would think, at this stage.
Go, 4.
Cameron Smith for Cooper Cronk. This is from inside the 40, but not kicking for length. It bounces not well. Oh, Locke had to go on the knees and slide to get it.
That's 1. Move! All the way,
but without going long, it's not such a bad result for New Zealand to have it 35 out from their line. And Farah on the return.
Do you think that was a deliberate kick there, Vossi, or do you think he just mishit that? I don't know. It's an unusual one.
Yeah, it certainly was an odd one we haven't seen. Almost back to halfway. The Kiwis needing desperately to score next. Williams takes them on, and there's a chant from the fans. And the ball is stripped. Little chance here. 22-2.
Seen so many late offloads in this World Cup. Here, Thaiday over the top, twisting and raking the football. He pretty much had most of his forearm on the football, didn't he, Big Sam? And Sonny was trying for a late offload as well.
Since that first game, Australia have scored 232 points to 2. That's what the count is at the moment since the opening game of the tournament. New Zealand, they need to crack the line not just once but twice but 3 times. And even then, if they convert all of them, they're going to be down by 2. The comeback has to start here. Luke, they don't get the quick play the ball. 5 away from the line. Papali there with Parker. Johnson this time at dummy half. They'll want to bring it back towards the post. Waria Hargreaves out the back for Foran. Then for Locke. Locke straightens, offload, still on for Mannering. The captain is held. Smith, the Australian captain, over the top with Hayne. Mexican wave going around Old Trafford. Williams, he passes very flat. But the defence is up and no offload came from Waria Hargreaves. Johnson on the last tackle. Deft kick, can't find Foran. The Australians too good. Too good in that set, as they have been for much of the tournament.
New Zealand asked some questions though. The play out the back to Locke on the left was a good one. When they come right from Sean Johnson with a little kick in behind. Now make Australia calling for some reinforcements.
Sam Paiday off for the Kangaroos. Greg Bird is back out there. You correct me, boys, we haven't seen Daly Cherry Evans yet, have we?
No, not yet.
Thurston with it. Back. But Hayne, if it's not a deliberate tap forward, he's got it onto the boot. Morris is hurt, but he may have scored. One of the greatest rugby league tries you'll see in a World Cup. Breathtaking from the Kangaroos. There are no words in a thesaurus that will give you an apt description for what we may have just witnessed there.
Oh, this is scintillating rugby league, this. I mean, look at the hands. Great, again, the quality of skill for the Australians. Good passing. This is a miraculous pass there from Fafita. Onside chase here for sure.
We'll have a listen to Ashley Klein.
Just run it through now.
The theatre of dreams has provided a dream try. Morris is okay, thankfully. Watch it back, young man, Brett Morris. You have played a part in an extraordinary moment.
When you're 20 points up, Papali with the last look, the show and the go, holding it like a pineapple, and then the ball out the back. How special's that? Quickly puts it to toe for guess who? Jared Hayne playing where? Playing at centre to get a foot to it. And then speed.
Yeah,
and a crash barrier.
That's our first chance for our viewers who haven't been to Old Trafford. Not only the short in goal, 4.1 metres, but then the huge run off the green down into the Never Never.
And that contrasting colour there, it turns into AstroTurf at the end of the infield, and it somewhat drops down a good metre, maybe a 1.2 metres, 4 foot, and then bang straight onto the turf and
you sure it's
into the barrier. Should have tyres around there, shouldn't
I say, if you hit a golf ball there, you get a free drop.
Are you sure it's 1.2? I thought it was 1.3. But anyway.
And a half.
I'm only joking.
Oh, Halligan, Kiwi great. Tipped them all tournament. Now he's looking at a 26-2 scoreline, but what you've witnessed there, I mean, you said pineapple. I think you probably should have said mandarin or clementine. It is clementine over here, isn't it?
Yes,
not mandarin.
Yes,
clementine. You've been here long enough. He slipped a clementine out the right-hand side. Oh, Hendo, it's all yours. You can just talk about what happened there.
I'm gobsmacked with the actual passion to play. It was scintillating rugby league football here. And look at that from Papali. He shows that he draws in the 2 defenders and he gets the clementine out the back door there. And Josh Morris.
Clementine, thank you.
Great great kick on the spot there to put it ahead. And Jared Hayne, you know, on the inside backing up, and then the quick thinking to knock it onto his foot. Oh, what a try.
That replay shows Cooper Cronk going through to congratulate Morris. He slid down into the rough as well.
It's all happening. It's all happening.
Now! Square!
Extraordinary rugby league.
Go, good line. Jordan,
Look at that.
Come on.
That's that total metres. That is over 400, the difference there.
Relax.
As I made the point earlier, we're not talking about small men, New Zealand. We're talking about giants of rugby league, and they have been battered.
That's 3 up now, Jordan.
They have been overpowered today by the Kangaroos. There is no question. Still that possession stat's the biggest one, 66%. Here they go again. Parker. Well, Parker's made to look like a honking front rower there. 40 metres away from the New Zealand line. Thurston out to Cronk. And Cronk to ground. And still 26 minutes to go. Thurston shipped over the top. There's no sign of a let up here. And Manu caught by the swarming defence of Morris. See, in ordinary games you'd say, well look, you can score the tries, but where's the one try going to come from? This Australian defence has been so good. Don't worry about trying to talk up 3 and 4 tries. Where's the first one going to come from?
There's a penalty there.
That'll help. The penalty to get out of your own end. But it's not an ordinary game, this Fossey. This is an extraordinary game by Australia. They are just about faultless. A couple of times they've gone high in the tackle, which has offered the Kiwis a little bit of respite. But their line speed, their control of the ruck, it's been superb.
That stamp screen, they're probably the only one that you could criticise them for. 7 penalties conceded to New Zealand 3. So Kiwis have possession outside their 40. Williams and Cassiano there in support. No Frank Pritchard today. That was always going to be a loss. Wasn't there for the semi-final either, as Foran passed out for Mannering. Can't break through the Thurston tackle. Everyone doing their job. Luke and Foran and build up with Johnson out in front of Locke. Their speed about their work. Glenn flicks it inside for Faray. He worked a miracle last week at Wembley with that pass from the first row for the Tuivasa-Sheck try. Williams with a skip, then finds support. It's Bromwich. Last tackle. Well, you couldn't make the in-goal. I don't know what they do here. You can't make the in-goal area any shorter, but he lands on the downslope.
It's just,
I mean, that's extraordinary. He hasn't dislocated a shoulder or broken the arm there.
You see that when he lands and it slips away from him, and you think he could have tore something there. It's dangerous.
So Super League Grand Final, it is the same. It's the same measurements, the same size in goal, Hendo.
Yep. Wow.
But such was the desperation there of Vadova. He was hoping to get anything on it. The Australians have rotated their props again. Tamo and Scott get a rest here. They walk off side by side, which is a nice moment for them to experience this. And look up at the scoreboard and see 28-2 there. Got to be a good feeling here. Gallen takes another run. It has been relentless. There is no turning off of the tap here for the Kangaroos. The way the forwards have worked. Cronk and Smith through the centre they go this time. Cameron Smith. Last tackle it will be. They spoke about today. It's not about revenge. You can't get revenge for what happened in 2008. Hayne off another great ball and a kick back infield, and Locke is good. Locke has the answer that time to the skills of the Kangaroos.
It was scintillating play, wasn't it? We saw the Melbourne Storm. Smith, Cronk, back on the inside, Slater. When Cameron Smith took off for a run, guess who goes to dummy half? It's Slater, and he pops out and shoots to the right.
That's 3. Up now, Paul. Go.
Still no Daly Cherry Evans here for the Kangaroos, as Australia now showing their defence across the field. No panic as it came out towards Faray. Glenn was the man tackled. And now Taylor locks horns with them. Bird is there. There is no sign of the petrol tank losing any here as Johnson kicks from outside the 40. Plenty on it. Morris is there to get it.
Hold on, boys.
Morris is back. It's hard to believe Morris and Vic Manu aren't hurt. Morris, well, you can get hurt like that. He's just run into a fence out there in the form of, it's a bearded one, it's Cassiano.
What do you call it, the human island?
Come on, Isaac.
That's him.
Straight into the human island there.
Yes.
Oh.
2, release.
Australia have possession just outside their 40. Thurston. And on they will go with Fafita, and here it is again. Meters made. You know,
Just
it
run
looks
hard.
simple, but yeah, just run hard, tackle hard. And they've done that all day. Cronk, play breaks down a little. Gallen puts a fend on. Got away from Mannering. Look at Gallen. Gallen almost away.
Release.
Now 15 metres inside that New Zealand half. Off goes Smith. There was no second marker there. Thurston goes straight through. Thurston decides to kick on it. What it was? Well, he dropped it. I don't know if he actually got a kick on it.
How did he get through that then?
Too many tricks in the book for Jonathan Thurston. Couldn't quite find the foot. One big palm from Cassiano into Gallen.
Back, go.
Great play from Thurston.
Slane comes in for a flyer, trying to put a shot on Manu. Still plenty of intent here in this match. Don't worry about the scoreboard.
So New Zealand and Mannering, I think we can confirm the crowd has passed the world record mark for a rugby league test crowd. As Williams with a ball, question mark, Farray on to Glenn, he's put it down. Yeah, well, they have to roll the dice at this point. The Australian defence just too good. Just too good here on the big day, in the big moment.
Done well to keep Sonny Bill out of the action in the second half. However, it's taken some pretty special players. This Greg Inglis marking up on Sonny Bill. Two massively talented football players on the left and right, equating for each other.
I want to give Matthew Scott and James Tamir a big rap here, boys. I think they have, they've played long minutes and they've really laid the platform, haven't they, for the Australians. And there's been a real purpose to the Australian play today, and they deserve where they be in this game, this lead.
So they're the top three defenders in the match, all New Zealand players, as Hayne with a big jump forward. Mannering the tackle, 28-2 as we go into the final quarter. This is not the way New Zealand had planned things. They wanted to be right there in the business end minutes. Cronk, Thurston is then eaten by Cassiano. 25 away from the line, gets smothered in his beard. As now Cronk has got the kick. Locke doesn't decide to catch it. I don't know whether it hit a Kiwi or not. But Locke made a decision at the last moment either to get a boot to it or pull out of it. I wasn't quite sure.
He's got to catch that, Kevin Locke, when it goes through. Dally Cherry Evans making his way onto the football field, so every player's taking part now. Batuve into the middle.
Let him up!
And that crowd is over 74,000 as well, just under 74,500. So we've got the record mark. And well done to the fans here. And again, good defence. When you thought an opening was there, Bird came over the top there of Johnson.
Is that the first time Sean Johnson's run the line this afternoon?
Luke and Foran and Mannering, and what ball New Zealand have. The job they've done on Isaac Luke has stopped the attack of New Zealand. Last tackle now for New Zealand.
Well, they've given head of feet to the Kiwis here, so this comes off Slater. But the one thing that
have a look at the contest here.
I was going to say that he actually competed for the ball this time. Too often we've seen in the game the bomb going up from Johnson, and obviously the Kiwi chase is just pulling short, not getting up there and competing for the football. First time we see it, and they look like they may get a result, but I think he's gone to the video referees here to check on it.
Well, I thought Kevin Locke might have gone up with the elbow a little bit, sort of cocked there, but he was attempting to make a play at the football, so it was all good.
Ashley Klein got a look at it and has backed up the decision of Mr. Silverwood. And New Zealand have all their players to the open side of this scrum.
You've had a pretty complete game when someone like GI has been reasonably quiet.
Yeah, good observation.
Go away, Cameron, go away.
Well, Halligan, Andrew Henderson in commentary here at Old Trafford as it is Bromwich who has it. They started tallly for Jesse. Right on the goal line of the Kangaroos. The crowd rally behind the Kiwis here. Johnson, back it goes to Foran and Goodwin. And again, look at the grin and goal jumpers. All there, the shirts to make the tackles. Buttervay. And Foran, Johnson out in front. USADA got past Thurston. Not past Inglis. 10 away. Quick play the ball is good. Johnson, big leap and step. And on for Fafare playing at centre. Glenn at right wing. Quickly Johnson to lock. But there's just too many defenders. The Kiwis think there's 21 Kangaroos out there. Williams across field. Williams met front on by Bird. They come back again on SBW. They bury every letter. 10 from the line. Last tackle again for New Zealand. We've said that a few times. Johnson chased down by Thurston. Now steadies for a kick. Across field. It'll come down 12 out. The ball has been knocked back safely into the clutches of Slater. And the Kangaroos do it again.
Back here, boys. Wait.
Trying everything they can, really. But it was side-to-side football. In the first block play in that set of 6, there was a poor pass that was behind Bryson Goodwin, and it took all the impetus out of the structured play they wanted to get to. From there, it was do your best.
You know, and that's been the difference, hasn't it, today? You know, the Australians have been very direct. They've ran hard. Their quality of skill has been good. Their kicking game has been pretty good for the majority of the game, and they've showed a bit of creativity at times. And like you just said there, the Kiwis very lateral. Some of the quality of skill passes going behind. They've been a little bit one out. They just haven't had the same impetus or purpose in what they've been attempting to do. They certainly haven't had the field position or the amount of possession. Well done, Australia, and you've got to give them credit too. Defensively there, they've had their goal line tested a couple of times, and they've just been so resilient, so tenacious in their defensive work.
You reckon they've run for nearly 1,300 metres. They'll run straight back into Manchester after this.
Let him off! All the way, Ben, wait!
Again, the Kangaroos have found themselves inside the New Zealand half. Scoreline, well, it will get embarrassing if it gets into the 30s. It certainly was unexpected that it would climb to this extent. And that ball is turned over. Goodwin comes up with it. Now they did that earlier. 15 and a half to go. And Frank Paul Nuwasala with a run for New Zealand. Outside the 40.
Hold your chance, Cameron, wait.
Sam Thaiday back out there now. He came back on for Papali. Maybe the last we've seen of Josh Papali in the final. They are allowed the 12 interchanges in international rules, rather than the 10 that we become accustomed to. Johnson offloading there for Fafare. He's found a penalty there, Silverwood, for New Zealand. Did he say it was a little high? He did.
Let it go. Let it go.
Greg Bird, the culprit. I thought maybe Delhi Cherry
I thought it was Cherry
might have come across with one of his. Yeah, it was just up and somewhat riding up from the shoulders. Contact low to start with, and then up into a grip position.
Not much in that one. Looks a little worse on the slow-mo, but it does give New Zealand the slightest of chances to become the first team to score a try against Australia this month. And it's not going to happen in this set, as Williams offload ended up with Thaiday. Now I'm talking in terms of months since they've conceded a try. Away goes Cherry Evans. Fresh legs.
So that's the question when Sonny Bill's running the football and no one's running with them.
Oh, Fafita. Big bump back. Andrew Fafita.
Let him go, Ben.
He is a star. He will be. He will be here in 4 years' time. No, he does. He does. As Thurston out to Inglis, he'll take them on. Inglis, Johnson had him, lost him, got him again.
Johnson.
Just inside the 30, the Kangaroos with Slater. He's got 2 tries in the final. And that may have been touched by New Zealand. Thurston has got it back. It was. And hang on a second. Touched by New Zealand. Everyone's waving their right arm in the air now. Most importantly, the man in pink was doing it. So the Australians do get another set. Gallen. Again, there's a bump, a first contact, not good from New Zealand. They're not able to make an effective tackle at first attempt. Cherry Evans to Smith, Smith to Cronk, and one of the New Zealand defenders was taken out. It was Taylor, who I saw out of the corner of my eye. He ended up flying back. I think it was Taylor.
Yeah, you think you're right there, Vossi. Says Fafita took him out. So just coming through that ball. Sit down, Taylor, he says.
Yeah, well, I don't think there was much doubt about that. Crowd cheering here because we've had an intruder. I think he's dressed as a polar bear. He ran on and
yeah, there he is.
I think he tried to take the corner post.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
That was a little bit of entertainment for the crowd.
Anyway, the Kiwis will carry the ball upfield.
That's still let him on.
I'm sure. Anyway, we'll stay with the play. What a shot that is. Setting sun.
That's me.
yonder here at Old Trafford in Manchester. Yes, the sun goes to bed early here. It's 4:10 in the afternoon. Nuasala puts it down for New Zealand. Cherry Evans comes up with the ball, and Cherry Evans will run back to halfway, and even he's fending off players.
Isaac!
And back. Play Greg Inglis. I think he's got a dislocated finger, getting the treatment as Australia work to within 40 metres of the New Zealand line. They have scored 4 tries, and Jonathan Thurston with 6 from 6, and not all from easy range either for Jonathan Thurston. Smith there dumps it off, and that's a good tackle from Luke front on Fafita. Luke has been left behind. Cherry Evans, this looks dangerous. Cronk out to Hayne, who planted the right foot and then stepped off it.
Move!
Tackled by Goodwin. Been a tough day for the New Zealand centres. Cronk again. Fireday would love a try. He certainly deserved it. Twisted back at the end of the tackle there by Goodwin. Low down was Martelino. Australia with Cronk, with Cameron Smith. On for Thurston. Steps away. Oh, great take. The kick from Thurston. It was taken by Luke. The pass isn't worth a quid. As it ended up with Taylor.
Wait, boys, wait!
They try all they can. They went from the penthouse to the you-know-where pretty quickly there in that play.
Oh, mate, wait!
And New Zealand are just outside their 20. And that scoreline is still 28-2.
Good luck picking the man of the match today, Vossi.
Yeah, I think they'll all share it around, won't they?
It's been a great team effort from the Australians.
Foran and Johnson. But again, it's not quite as crisp as what the Australians have delivered. Faray back infield. Last tackle it is for New Zealand. Sturton couldn't pull it in.
What about the shot from Thaiday? Great late drop, gets underneath Williams. Because let's be honest, Williams beat about 3 or 4 blokes on his own. And then Thaiday just goes, you know what, I'm putting it into this run. Gets underneath him, upends him. Ball comes loose. Hayne gets away. Think he's going to beat Locke. Locke does well to reach out with the one arm and almost pull him down. And Thurston on the inside knocks on. And New Zealand survive again.
There was all there. Now we've got a bit of a punching back play. Nuasala wanted to go on with it with Greg Bird. Frank Paul against Greg Bird. And Frank Paul was on his way off the field as well. Cassiano back out there for New Zealand. In back play, Kevin Locke hasn't got back to his feet since that try-saving attempt on Jared Hayne. He's not in good shape. As the kick sends Manu on the chase. Slater dives across and is knocked on, but I tell you what, Brett Morris,
what an effort.
He's got over the hurdles there, Brett Morris.
I so love it when Billy Slater does this. He just attacks the football. You have a look at him dive for it. Just gets it 2 hands to the football too to start with, and then just grasses it along the turf, and that somewhat propels the ball forward for a knock on. But 10 out of 10 for the attempt. Kevin Locke's back on his feet now.
Amazing piece of athleticism that there from Billy Slater. The speed that comes across and the leap and everything. Just unfortunately didn't get the end result.
I think the announcement was just made to the crowd here about the attendance today, that you're part of a record for a test match, as Johnson has offloaded Williams with the ball. It's getting up to 400 minutes without a try conceded by the Kangaroos, or since their last one.
Nice offload from Cassiano to Martelino.
5 from the line at 28-2. Foran goes short. The defence is a wall again. Fireday, Cronk, Smith all there on Taylor. The Kangaroos defending so well. This time Williams down on his haunches 10 metres out from the Kangaroos goal line. And Billy Slater went a good 20 metres back to bend over and help him up. Say, up you go, old mate. It's just not your day. What a scene that is here at Old Trafford. But even in that moment, Billy Slater, he wasn't just walking 5 metres. He went back 20 metres to help Sonny Bill Williams up and then go join his teammates for the celebrations of that runaway try.
And again, you know, for Sonny Bill, we spoke about it, the effort's been there from he's trying so hard to make something happen. But like anything, you know, the forwards, you know, they just haven't been able to get on top of this Australian side today. And, you know, the Australians, you've got to give them credit. Defensively, they've been outstanding, you know, in what they've done, the work they've done, their line speed, their contact, their wrestle. You know, they've been aggressive, tenacious in what they've done, and a real purpose to not only their defensive work, but also their go forward. And you know, the Kiwis have just struggled.
Stand up.
Well, the shots we've brought you from around Old Trafford have shown a perfect day when in terms of weather for this time of the year, and it's been the perfect day for Australia. Jonathan Thurston gets another Man of the Match award. Well, if he wears all the medallions, I mean, the alarms will go off through the X-ray machine, won't they? He'll have troubles getting to the airport. Smith runs into our Man of the Match there. That's not a glorious moment. And he gets over halfway, the captain. And then Molino just stood his ground to make the tackle. Last play for Australia, 34-2. And Thurston stabs this one right down to the corner. All the little things, all the little factors of play, the 1%ers, they all add up to about 300% today for the Kangaroos.
Even that kick there from Jonathan Thurston, sort of somewhat manufactured. See that in Australia. Gets a little bit of a banana on a 30-metre kick that bounces 2 out from touch and takes a left-hand spin towards the sideline. Complete is the word that comes to mind for this Australian side this evening. Courtesy of that man there, Cameron Smith. So much to offer. Plays the first 60 minutes at dummy half, and then they change it round. Someone played a cameo 5'8" role somewhere here today as well in the last few moments. Always around the football.
Let's go. Come on. Out.
Well, only the second time they'd met this year. Australia did the job down in Canberra earlier this year in beating the Kiwis, put on a 20-point margin, and today it's been emphatic. There's no question of that at 34-2. The record will show now 9 meetings in England between these two sides, and another win for Australia. In fact, 10 meetings now. And 8 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw for the Kangaroos. And Tim Sheen's down to the sideline. He's really able to soak up the final 5 minutes of this one. He's a man of few smiles.
I was going to say that. Give us a smile, Tim.
I'm sure that he's beaming inside as Johnson does another one of those ones. But Slater back from injury today. What a performance. And off he goes again. Slater almost away from Taylor. Trapped, but only just on the 30-metre line. Thurston and Bird for Cherry Evans, and Cherry Evans for a dash. Good that he got some decent minutes, Daly Cherry Evans. But Sheen's had that luxury, didn't he? That he basically had the match won going into the final 20, final 30. As Parker onto Thurston. Thurston well tackled by Mannering. With that 2.5 to go. 5 tries to 0. 7 goals kicked by Thurston today. And a ball lost there by the Kangaroos, by Bird it was. So New Zealand, in fact Gallen and New Zealand will get the scrum feed.
I don't like the look of it anyway.
Call made by that young man, Grant Atkins. Big moment too for the young touch judge, who came over here as he's a young referee in Australia, and has done his job on the line and getting a moment here at Old Trafford today.
Let's go. Boys, fine tight, come on.
At least the result, you can say, the controversial ruling of a no try in the first half that I think we thought on balance should have been a try to Cooper Cronk. Well, that hasn't really mattered. There's Locker's tackled there.
That's one, let him out.
He's been hit hard today on many times, Kevin Lock.
Go.
Kiwis not quite through the motions, but pretty close to it as Cassiano up the halfway. The flamboyant play. It's gone. The spirit has been broken here. Martelino will, just when I say that, he comes up with a pretty incredible offload for Luke.
Wait. Go, 3.
with just over a minute to go. 35 away from the line. On for Taylor. Taylor is trapped again. The defence just too good. It's going to be an almighty record if the Kangaroos keep the Kiwis tryless here. To go through 5 straight matches like that. Cassiano's play, the ball wasn't flashed. Johnson's kick. Morris there just takes it out of play. They know that this is some sort of record. No try since that first game, late in the second half against England, that their line has been crossed. And look at Morris here, deliberately batting it over the sideline.
It's like he was playing badminton, wasn't it? Just get rid of that thing over the touchline. 30 seconds to go.
3 plays.
Okay, boys, come on,
For those who do keeping stats, it's nowhere near a biggest defeat of the Kiwis as far as Australia are concerned. That was 58-0 back in 2007.
Come on.
But this is the dying moments of the match. 30 seconds to go here at this wonderful stadium. Johnson Williams has lost it. Sonny Bill Williams loses the ball. It is just not his day. No Rugby League World Cup to add to the Rugby Union Trophy. And in fact, they're not even going to bother packing this last scrum. The Kangaroos celebrate. The players on the bench will get ready to run out. Well done, Tim Sheens. Well done, Cameron Smith. And the Australian squad here. To the Kiwis, a good tournament, but they won't say a great tournament because the job of defending the cup was not achieved.